Santa Claus fearing family, I should say. I did make some cookies. I got into the spirit, the holiday spirit. I made some damn molasses cookies. Molasses smells like death.
Yes, but the things it makes, not great. It blows my mind.
It's weird. It is one of those things that you're like, oh, this is bad, and then you add it as an ingredient, and it makes all the difference.
It smells, molasses to me smells like the concentrated farts of all the Christmas ghosts in a jar. But when you bake it,
that's weirdly accurate.
It does. It has a horrible Christmassy tinge to it. You have to unlock its secrets. Folks, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name's Jordan Dahl.
I am Nate Balding.
I am the Philosopher's Stone, Roger Norquist.
Today's episode,
I'm trying that out.
You're going to be called the Philosopher's Stone?
Yes.
I'm here for it. People, alchemists will be harrowing you day and night for your secrets.
See, Kylie said that I can date other people, and I chose an alchemist.
You chose an alchemist. I understand. Yeah. So you're going to become the Philosopher's Stone, which is what they wanted all along.
Yes.
Folks, today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by the Monstroco Cryptosynaptic Recomjogulator. No home would be complete without this whirring, buzzing contraption that Monstroco's very own night scientists assure us does something immensely beneficial to the human limbic system. Sleep with it near your head, feet, or heart for best results, and trust that any rapid transformations that may occur will benefit you in the dark future our augurs have foreseen. The Cryptosynaptic Recomjogulator by Monstroco. What the fuck?
Can you imagine what the day scientists are doing over there?
Well, here's the thing. The night scientists defeated the day scientists, so we don't really have to worry about them.
Oh, okay. So they're exterminated.
There was a coup, and now there's a new powerful wizard on the street.
Yes, exactly. Not a huge problem. But get a Cryptosynaptic Recomjogulator, sleep with it on your chest or your forehead, and it'll do whatever it is that it does.
It's beneficial, you say?
They say it's beneficial. I didn't say that, just for the record. The night scientists say that it's beneficial in some way. They won't really reveal why. They keep saying, you'll see, and then tapping the middle of their forehead. So I don't know. But you can get it, and it's neat.
Well, I'm going to buy it just like I buy all the other Monstroco items. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you have to buy those? I assume, because I get them every week.
Yeah, I get them. Well, remember when we signed that contract and we were like, how much do the items we'll receive every week cost? And the shadowy figure said the price has already been paid.
Yeah.
So it's not money.
I thought it was free.
Who have I been giving money to?
Nothing's free.
I've been writing so many checks.
Fortunately, none of those will cash.
Who would like to take charge of the speaking skull first?
Let me go first. I got some more Christmas stories from a little book called 30 Real Christmas Ghost Stories, True Life Experiences with Ghosts and Spirits at Christmas Time.
All right.
It is from one. Who wrote you? Tell me your secrets. MJ Weiland.
It's not an anthology?
Nope, this is one book by MJ Weiland, and it is the first book I've bought since the pandemic.
Nice. And this is 30 Rock, the novelization, right?
Yes.
Nice.
So what chapter of Liz Lemon's life do you want to hear about? Christmas tricks?
Maybe,
Colonel Sidley's Christmas ride?
Okay, well, that sounds good too.
Is one
the
of them
ghost hunter in
16?
Dublin?
Wait, when Colonel Sidley talks about his Christmas ride, is he pointing to his penis?
Paddington's Christmas ghosts?
Again, is Paddington pointing to his penis?
No. These are real ghosts, Jordan, not fun ghosts.
Okay, I want to hear Christmas tricks.
Okay, Christmas tricks it is. Nate, you get the next choice. Oh, goodness. Here's some Welsh words.
Nice.
Christmas tricks.
The greatest Christmas trick of all.
The Welsh village of Landoga.
You can just make a sound like the wind.
Between
it's probably what, Landa?
Landoga, Landoga.
No, all right, you ruined it.
Yandoga, between Cheapstow and Monmouth.
Sure.
Came to the attention of national newspapers due to a poltergeist that came active at Christmas of 1823.
Okay.
A little quote: the windows shake, the drawers crack. Each thinks that Nick's behind his back.
Whoa. What are we at the
Is it going to
Lindley
be
house?
rhyming the entire time?
Is this one of those rhyming ghost stories?
So wrote a correspondent in the Bristol Mercury investigating William Edwards, a former preacher whose haunted house was classed as being in the league as the notable haunting of the time known as Scratching Fanny. I think we talked about that. The Cockling ghost, another poltergeist story. Yes, I think we did. I think that might have been a grave nugget.
Scratching Fanny.
It was reported that an invisible spirit had made Edwards and his family's life utter hell. It became so violent that it demolished earthenware and broke glasses.
Okay, that's uncalled for.
Poor William believed the poltergeist to be living in his house. He relocated to another location in the village only for the crockery-destroying demon to pursue him to a new home.
That's the nightmare, isn't it?
Oh, that is definitely the nightmare, to where like you lose everything. You sell your house that you lived in for so long, you move to a different place, and it just follows you there too.
And then you find out that it wasn't the house at all. It was you.
It was you the whole time.
You're haunted.
Then the poltergeist seems to have found this move disagreeable and began kicking furniture down the stairs and generally causing damage and mayhem around William Edwards.
Naturally.
A correspondent visiting interviewed the locals and concluded that what was happening was real, although the villagers and various ideas on what was happening. Let me read that again. Although this is what happens when you just buy a book on Amazon with only 2 ratings. Sometimes it's self-edited.
I think this is a direct result of trying to understand Welsh Gaelic on the brain.
Although the villagers had various ideas on what was really happening, Mr. Edwards was reported to believe he was buffeting Satan on his determination to become a new man.
Oh, boy. Okay, well...
Is he trying to become a new man through some sort of satanic pact?
No, I think he's implying that in his gritty battle with sobriety or becoming a new man or whatever, he has attracted the ire of the Prince of Darkness.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a normal type of troubles.
Yeah. Yes. I will also say the people who immediately go to Satan as their bedeviler, it's like, don't flatter yourself, kid.
Yeah, at best, you're getting a general from hell. Come on.
Which isn't bad now. But anyway, so another villager claimed that Edwards Another villager claimed that Edwards once promised to meet a ghost or spirit to try and find hidden treasures with it.
Okay.
But had forgotten the appointment.
There's a lot of these things feel like stuff that I've said to someone.
I was going to say this
that I would do.
It feels like we're getting a little insight into why he needed to become a new man. This feels like sweet whiskey talk to me.
Sadly, the story fell out of fashion. The poltergeist disappeared from history for a short time, only to be found in news clippings. We may never discover the truth behind the poltergeist, or if indeed it ever stopped haunting poor William Edwards.
Interesting. Or William Edwards. Maybe he made peace with it.
Ooh, maybe they're
Yes.
lovers.
Maybe he finally found what he'd been looking for.
So that was Christmas tricks.
Okay.
Shall we now learn about Colonel Sidley's Christmas ride?
Yes, we have to.
I think so. Also, I thought Christmas Tricks was going to be a limited edition cereal. Thank you, Roger.
Silly Santa.
Oh, no, I think we did this one already because it was about the hunt.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
And then there's like a gray man or something that gave him the go-ahead to...
Colonel Sidley's ridiculous pants.
Yeah.
No, Black Jezebel. I think we're good on this one. I need to start marking it.
Okay.
Because I don't see anything about foxes. Because we were all like, why would you hunt these beautiful foxes?
Yeah, keep going. I don't think we've done this one.
All right. So here begins Colonel Sidney's Christmas ride. There are many tales of ghosts and spirits in Norfolk historic houses and indeed its countryside. Across Britain, there are numerous tales of a ghostly wild hunt setting out on Christmas Eve,
Sick.
searching the countryside for poor souls to take.
For porn.
Why are they hunting the poor souls?
It's the wild hunt, man. That's what they do. The wild hunt is like a Norwegian myth of like these black riders in the sky, and they come on Christmas for your soul.
And by poor soul, they mean someone who's at the end of their rope, someone who's almost forsaken God himself.
Right.
So it's like a Reaper situation, and not
A little
just
bit.
I believe so.
We're going to murder a bunch of poor people.
Anyway, this is a true life experience. This isn't a ghost story. These are true life experiences.
I like that. I like the wild hunt being like, let's see your wallet. What do you got? Any cash? No, he's poor. Get him.
So this following story could be classed as one such wild hunt story, but with one resounding difference. It is based on fact.
Nice.
This story concerns Colonel Sidley and his activities at Ranworth Hall, Norfolk, on Christmas Eve, 1770. Some people still swear that the galloping hooves of his great mare, the Black Jezebel, can be heard thundering across the windswept countryside on Christmas Eve.
Dang, that's a cool, scary ghost.
Others reckon that they have heard the mare plunge into the water of the nearby Broad.
Is that what happened to him? Is that how he died?
Is Broad a term for a small dock?
But a broad. I think so.
Colonel Sidney was a wild man with a passion for wine, women, and hunting.
And loose horses.
The people of Ranworth feared him for being cruel and bitter in his dealings with them. He had the reputation of being possessed with a devil, or even being the devil himself.
Whoa.
His startling appearance supported these beliefs, for he always wore dark, somber clothes. His hair was jet black, and his dark eyes glinted evilly.
It's just a goth moron.
Wait, so yeah, it sounds like Morrissey riding a horse.
Morrissey remained booted and spurred at all times, riding his Black Jezebel at a moment's notice, always at the gallop.
Hell yeah.
He would call out his hounds at any time of day, then
doesn't give a
ride the
fuck.
huge black mare like a demon.
Yeah.
Woe betide anyone who got in his way or tried to interfere with his sport. Small wonder the country folk of Ranworth instinctively sought cover at the sound of his approaching galloping fiend.
Rules.
Life at Ranworth Hall was equally hectic. Often lights from every window blazed out long into the night. On these occasions, the sounds of drunken songs, laughters, shrieks, and screams echoed across the surrounding countryside. Characteristically, Colonel Sidney sent invitations to half the local gentry and a group of local blades from Norwich to ride to hounds with him on stroke of midnight on Christmas Eve, 1770.
Wow. Damn. Christmas used to be fucking wild.
It was a different celebration.
Yeah.
You think that you're a secular Christian? This sounds secular Christian.
Yeah, this is borderline witchcraft.
If you don't have at least 6
fair.
blades.
Yeah, this is borderline witchcraft. That's fair.
Tonight we drink blood for Jesus.
The guest arrived to find the colonel ready to ride, but first he insisted on them finishing a bowl of punch.
It's blood.
By the time midnight approached, few of the men were sober, and a whoop of enthusiasm broke out as Colonel Sidney rose to his feet, brandished his riding crop, and urged the company to finish their drinks, then follow him to the stables. Before he reached the main door, a loud bang was heard upon it. Suddenly, it flew open, and a solitary figure in a voluminous black cloak filled the doorway.
Voluminous.
A large black coat filled the doorway. The stranger wore a large black hat that concealed his features.
Nice.
In a harsh commanding voice, he invited Colonel Sidney to ride with him.
I do love a hat that covers your entire face.
Yeah,
he pointed other
really
members.
More of a hood, isn't it? It's kind of a.
It could be a very large, like desert hat. Various cultures have to cover their body from the sands and suns.
I'm picturing the guy from Fat Albert and the Junkyard Gang who has the hat pulled down over his head with the eyes cut in it.
Exactly where I was at.
So picture that, everyone.
Yeah, it gives him the black hat gives him weird Hamburglar vibes.
And Mushmouth pointed to the other members of the company. Flushed with drinking, the men went for their horses, and the hounds burst.
Tonight, Cosby will take you.
Cosby, take thine soul. Thou art like school in summer.
The hounds burst from their kennels. A servant came forward with the colonel's cloak, but the stranger brushed him aside, saying he will need no cloak this night. The stranger, at the sight of the stranger, the hound suddenly turned tail and fled howling. The sky had become heavily outcast, and peals of thunder rent the air.
Yeah.
What vocabulary I'm learning. Halted by these strange signs, the men watched the flashing of lightning zigzag across the sky. By this eerie light, they saw their host gallop off with the stranger in the direction of Ranworth Broad. Suddenly, an agonized shriek pierced out above the storm, followed by a great splash of water, then a chilling, momentary silence before the bell began to toll softly.
Interesting.
The guests and servants fled in all directions, leaving the hall shining out like a beacon in the surrounding blackness. But Colonel Sidney did not return.
Yeah, take him to hell.
The following morning, his solicitor came from Norwich. He announced that he had received urgent summons. He turned deathly white when told the nature of the colonel's departure. He then collected the dead man's papers and burnt the lot.
Sorry, was this guy rehired by the devil to hide all of the evidence?
It was never discovered who tolled the bell or who summoned the solicitor.
I mean,
still, because of these mysterious happenings and the riding of the ghostly horses on Christmas Eve, Ranworth Hall remained empty for a long time. In 1985, it was finally demolished, leaving only its old porch as a reminder of its terrible history.
I mean, it sounds a little bit like this guy faked his death.
A little bit, but if not, that's a cool ass story right there. That's a good ghost story for Christmas time.
And I think I will leave it at that. There are so many more in this book. I have The Ghost Hunter in Dublin. I have Taddington's Christmas Ghosts.
Okay.
The Ghost Hunting
Taddington.
Miners. The Murder of Stokes Pogues. This book is great. MJ Weiland, check it out.
Very cool stuff. Wow.
But that is 2 Christmas ghost stories.
You know, that's
true life experiences. These aren't just ghost stories. These actually happen and
this happened to that guy. Allegedly. That's almost like kind of a badass like Scrooge story. Like that guy got Scrooged harder than Scrooge ever got Scrooged.
It seems like he was like the other side. Like if Scrooge wasn't so Scroogey, but still like a brutal tyrant, that's who he would be.
Yeah, he was a bastard to everybody, and so they fucking hired the devil to come and throw him in the road.
And just a neighbor.
Yeah, which I'm assuming is some sort of river. Wild. That is.
Anyway,
a wild
I passed the skull to one of you.
Okay. May I take the skull?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Give me just a second here. Got to look something up real quick.
I think you should use
it wasn't Mushmouth. That was Donald. With
Donald.
Yeah. Whew. Glad we got to the bottom of that one. Okay, so I have some. I'm feeling a bit wintry myself. I started looking into the Tunguska event, which, for those of you who don't know, in 1908, there was an estimated 18 kiloton explosion occurred over the Tunguska forest in Russia, which flattened a bunch of trees, and people heard it from miles away, but there was never any impact crater found. Some people think it was a black hole collided with the Earth. Other people think it was something as simple as the meteor that was falling detonated, like exploded when it hit the atmosphere.
Exploded midair, which meteors can do. I've witnessed them. It looks crazy. It blew my fucking mind.
I've seen that too. It was rad.
And all the people that think it was a black hole are insane.
Now, there's some truth to that because
no, there's not.
Hey, I have the skull. The skull is mine.
Would swallow half the solar system.
What if it was tiny?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here is what I have ended up, what I landed on was, that's right, it's another episode of Jordan Reads You a Listicle. This is 7 frightfully fun polar ghost stories. We're going to the Arctic, y'all.
More ghost stories, more ghost encounters, more ghost sightings.
Number 1, the Arctic ghost of fur trader Augustus Piers. Augustus Piers is here. This is delicious furs for the winter. Sorry. Hudson's Bay Company fur trader Augustus Richard Piers passed away on March 15th, 1853, while working as a post manager at Fort McPherson in the Inuvik region of the Northwest Territories. Even though Piers had made it painfully well known that he wanted his remains interred anywhere other than Fort McPherson, his supervisor, Roderick McFarlane, buried him in the fort regardless.
Well,
which is a bad fucking move. If you're trying, do you want to get ghosts?
Really love that fort, maybe.
Yeah, did they hate each other?
I don't know. It seems like a real dick move. If any one of you told me, I mean, maybe he was just a lazy fuck. Maybe he was like, he's dead. What do you care? You know?
I should say this up front. I do plan on burying you at Fort McPherson.
I don't want that. There's already a ghost there.
Well, you're not going to get a choice.
You know I want to be
They've
buried
given
at
us
Six
a
Flags.
large sum of money, Jordan.
I want to be the Six Flags ghost. This.
Well, you know
Okay.
what? That trumps everything.
Well, you know that guy's been dead for 200 years. Okay, after receiving a prompting from Pierce's widow to transport his remains to Fort Good Hope, Supervisor McFarland and a few of his workers began the journey there by dog sled. But nearly a week after arriving, they heard a voice beyond the light of their campfire that sounded like Pierce warning them of approaching wolves.
Ooh.
Several nights later, they heard Pierce's voice again, this time alerting them to a wolverine that apparently meant to harm the man's corpse.
Dude, Wolverines love doing that shit.
They love toes. They love nibbling toes. After eventually burying Pierce's body in Fort Good Hope, McFarland and his workers returned to Fort McPherson. But only 2 days into the journey, McFarland woke up to see Pierce staring down at him and one of his crewmates. Both men saw the ghost and hid under their blankets until it disappeared. Had Pierce come merely to thank them on a job well done? Seems we'll never know.
Hey, I didn't actually die, but also, don't bury me there.
This reminds me of, did you ever read The Cremation of Sam McGee?
I have not.
No.
There's an excellent poem called The Cremation of Sam McGee by a guy named, give me a second.
Let's
Keats.
guess. Dylan Maxwell.
This is written by a guy named Robert W. Service.
Oh, I was so off.
And it is a very good, fun kind of ghost story about almost this exact same thing. A guy, Sam McGee, claims that he wants to be buried anywhere warm. And so this guy is trying to transport his remains, and I won't spoil it for you. It's very good. It begins, strange things are done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The northern lights have seen queer sights that would make your blood run cold.
Oh,
I'm already beginning to
spooky.
think that maybe he doesn't find a warm place.
I'm thinking he's dumped in the river.
Into the brood with you. All right, number 2, the disembodied voices of Deception Island. Deception Island is one of the most popular Antarctic cruise destinations and was once home to an old whaler station. Whale bones can in fact still be seen on some of the beaches, evidence of an industry that once wantonly slaughtered these animals. I don't know about wanton. We needed those lamps. We needed to read what Robert W. Sarvis poems.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if you kill a whale, it's for a reason.
Yeah, it's not the type of thing that you do on your way to the store.
It's not something you do because you built up a grudge with this white whale.
I can't let it go. When oil prices tanked with the onset of the Great Depression, the station was abandoned and only later appropriated as a British base in World War II. They went back there. Some visitors to Whalers Bay, a landing site on Deception
Fleeing the
Island.
home country. All right.
Described.
Fucking cowards.
There was a lot of fear in World War II that the Russians were going to figure out a way to come over the ice caps.
Because it's such a short flight.
It's a short tromp, but it is also like, you remember Hannibal when he sacrificed 600 elephants or something? This would have been that, but with all the people.
Is it because
Yeah,
it's
that
just so
was,
cold?
That was some 3,000 years ago.
Yeah, I guess we have better jackets now.
And
Or
yeah,
at least
surely
during
we
World
can
War
figure
II.
that out. And
Right,
by that,
we'll get
I
to
mean
work on
the
it.
Russians. I think we can attack America, fellow Russians. Sleeper
well,
code word, mama, 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 mama.
Oh, God. Well,
Activate now.
that's this episode pulled.
The Soviets did have access to a magical lantern that opened up the Arctic to allow them to fly planes.
That's right. They also
all the
had
way
that.
down.
They had that army of ape people, Stalin's
Yeah.
army of ape men. So some visitors to Whalers Bay have described seeing strange apparitions and orbs of light. A few people have even heard voices. Not only that, in 2009, the crew of American Sci-Fi Network TV show Destination Truth, shout out Josh Gates, heard he's a dickhead, visited the bay, where the crew heard loud bangs and saw a, quote, shadowy figure walking among the ruins. They also recorded a thermal signature in a window and heard what seemed to be an SOS signal coming from one of the shacks. Pretty wild. Deception Bay, Fort Deception, the British fort at Deception Bay, full of ghosts. Number 3, the ghost of the Arctic Circle Hot Springs Resort. Arctic Circle Hot Springs Resort in the town of Central Alaska was built on the site of 400 gallons per minute hot spring in 1918. Though the facility shut down due to financial troubles, perhaps some of those troubles were due to the odd happenings staff and visitors reported over the year. Can you imagine? In the resort's third-floor library, there is said to be a female ghost that roams around the bookshelves, and many of the kitchen workers used to hear strange whistling noises they couldn't explain coming from the hallways and exterior. A teacher from California even tried to contact the ghost of one of the former owners, recording doors opening and closing on their own and claiming to feel the presence of the former owner's wife nearby.
Nice.
If you know what I mean. Other visitors have also reported seeing the main hall's chandelier swinging without the help of wind, hearing footsteps on the stairs, and watching paintings come to life.
Oh.
What?
Oh, I don't like that.
That's a Harry Potter right there. Yeah, the paintings are doing a Harry Potter.
Are they sure there's not just an ancient murderer who's looking through the eye holes?
Yeah, there's a ghoul in the wall.
See, I picture it as someone just sitting still for like 6 hours inside of a perfectly perspectively painted area.
See, I'm picturing the farmer and his daughter from American Gothic, but they both just light cigarettes at the same time and start smoking.
It's break time.
Yeah, it's really weird.
That's not his daughter, right? That's his wife.
That's his daughter.
That's his wife.
That is his daughter. Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, no, look it up. It's a lot of people are
All
like,
right.
this guy and his wife, and they're like, that's
son of a bitch.
Daughter. Unless I'm wrong, which has never happened. So next up, number 4, the restless spirits of Ross Island. In the late 1970s, day trip flights from New Zealand offered passengers the opportunity to see Antarctica from the air. But tragedy struck on November 28, 1979, when a flight carrying 257 people crashed into Ross Island's Mount Erebus, killing everyone on board. Bummer. The bodies were stored at the American Research Station McMurdo. Over the years, many visitors to the base have claimed to see the ghosts of the flight's passengers and crew roaming the hallways and the outer grounds. Boy, could you imagine being a ghost on a fun day trip to the Arctic and then you end up staying there for all eternity? What a bummer.
Oh, yeah. Not the funnest continent.
Weirdly, yes.
But what is fun for a ghost? Are you residual haunting? Are you intelligent?
Flags.
Yes, I agree. Six Flags is the best place to haunt.
Absolutely. Oh, God, when the lights go down, the ghosts come out.
I mean, the thing is, if you're a ghost, you're going to live forever.
Yes.
Eventually, there is going to be a Six Flags.
Nice.
At McMurdo Station.
Eventually, Six Flags will encircle the globe.
Yeah. You're going to get to be the actual ghost in the haunted mansion.
Yeah.
Learn about Six Flag theory. It's one of the deeper things on the conspiracy iceberg.
Yeah. Six Flags theory is way down there. People have also supposedly heard voices, felt presences, and even spotted trails of unexplained footprints at the McMurdo station. Very strange. Okay, next up, the Labrador legend of the Phantom Trapper. Legend has it that during the harsh winters of Labrador, Canada, the Phantom Trapper is cursed to eternally drive his team of 14 white huskies across the region's vast barren landscape, guiding lost people to safety. Phantom Trapper, all right, helpful ghost.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
I want to see a movie about the Phantom Trapper.
Kind of cool, right? Nobody knows the trapper's real name, but many have recognized this Good Samaritan ghost by his clothing of thick furs and skins. It's said that in life, the trapper sold toxic alcohol to the native people. Trapper.
Never mind. I take back everything that I appreciated about the Phantom Trapper.
It is said that in life, the trapper sold toxic alcohol to the native peoples, even assaulting many of their women before dying of natural causes. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was.
Jesus Christ.
Evading retribution for his crimes in life, he's now doomed to pay for them in death.
Nice.
Though some of our snow-loving guides might not consider his punishment half bad. This is from Oceanwide Expedition.
It sounds like he did not die.
Well, certainly.
He just fell asleep, died, but his spirit just woke up the next day going like, I guess it's time to assault some native women.
I gotta get this toxic alcohol across the ice shelf. All right, number 6, the haunting of the Robert Scott Hut. The hut of famed explorer Robert Falcon Scott is a highlight of our Ross Sea trips, though it seemed not everyone has had such a glowing review of this historic Antarctic landmark. Some visitors have felt uneasy in the hut, heard footsteps and voices inside, and believed they were being watched. As with the McMurdo station inspectors, however, we have not heard any such claims from our own passengers. Good thing, as it's been a while since we've had Ghostbusters on the payroll. All right, you kind of copped out on this one, Oceanwide Expeditions.
I mean, you had them there before. Tell us about that time as well.
Number 7, the final ghost story from Oceanwide Expeditions at 7 Frightfully Fun Polar Ghost Stories. Edmund Hillary and the Ghost of Ernest Shackleton. That's right, y'all. Sir Edmund Hillary and Nepalese Sherpa Tenzing Norgay were the first people. So anytime I hear the name Tenzing Norgay, I had a friend in Seattle who one time we were driving along if
you have a story about the name Tenzing Norgay.
I had a friend in Seattle who we were driving along. It must have been July 7th. It was the middle of the summer. There was a guy walking down the street in a giant, fucking winter coat. And this dude jumps across the car, rolls down the window, and shouts, "Hey, Edmund Hillary, where's Tenzing Norgay?" And we laughed probably for the rest of our lives about that. Anyway.
How weird.
And that's a real story?
It's a real story.
That's
I don't make up stories. The internet does that for me.
I do all the time.
I never saw him again. He was my brother's friend. Really funny guy. Can't remember his name. We were close.
Yeah,
Tenzing Norgay, right. So Sir Edmund Hillary and Nepalese Sherpa Tenzing Norgay were the first people to achieve a confirmed ascent of the summit of Mount Everest. Not true. Sherpas had been doing it for centuries, probably. Anyway, Hillary was a great admirer of legendary explorer and fellow knight, Sir Ernest Shackleton. Though Shackleton died in Antarctica in 1916, 3 years before Hillary was born, Sir Edmund admitted to seeing the man's ghost while visiting Shackleton's hut in Ross Island. Amazing. I think Ernest Shackleton is the one who famously, when they were dying, he told his friends, I'm going outside now. It might be some time, and just never came back.
That's how I want to go. Outside my place. I don't want to stink it up.
Yeah.
They also built a whole cavern out of ice.
Oh, crazy. Just to live in or die in rather? Whatever.
Well, I mean, none of them made it, but yeah.
This is the dying hut.
Cool.
Get in,
though.
pussy.
Yeah. Get in, pussy. We're going dying. Okay. I remember when I first went to Shackleton's hut, Hillary said, and I'm not a person who really sees things very much, but I went inside the door. I distinctly saw Shackleton walking towards me and welcoming me, and then it all sort of flashed away and he was gone. It's the only time I can ever remember seeing something like that occurring.
I don't like that. I do like it, but I get the goosebumps from it.
I've seen stuff like this. Weirdly, I've seen the flash he's talking about, where you see for a split second, like the outline of a person. I remember opening the walk-in freezer at this pizza place that I used to work in, and for a split second, I saw the gold outline of somebody standing in there, and I blinked, and there was nobody there. And my boss used to tell ghost stories about that place. Very strange. Anyway, that does it for 7 terrifying polar doubles and shacks. This is Finn Shack Watch with Jordan.
Bravo.
Thank you.
All of them are terrifying.
Yep.
Nate, now it's your turn to terrify us.
I shall if
I hurl you the skull.
I can. Hurl me the skull.
Consider it hurled.
We'll try and catch it.
Oh, I'm gonna hurl.
God.
I'm gonna hurl skull. That's what I call puking.
It puked in my mouth. I don't know what that's about.
Oh God. Just go with it.
I'm gonna do some more trucker ghost stories.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
For another installment of Truck Around and Find Out.
Look at us being good Christians, telling ghost stories like our ancestors used to in the 1700s.
Yeah, tales of the stories and spooky ghost glories. And anyway, go ahead. I'm done.
This first one's super short. This one's called Florily Stop.
No.
Here's my story. I was driving in a blinding snowstorm across I-70 in Colorado at night.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah. I was running team at the time and I drove nights. Well, approaching Glenwood Springs, I had not seen another truck or anything in about 20 minutes or so going east. All of a sudden, clear as day out of my CB, I hear, Florily, stop! Florily was the name of the company I was driving for at the time. I did stop 20 feet from a boulder that had fallen in the road.
Whoa.
Here's where it gets weird. There was no one behind me from that way who would come the other way.
Wow. That's weird. That's weird.
Oh, yeah. I got spooked from that one already.
Yeah, that's strange.
All right, Nate. Congratulations. You win.
I got him first try.
Let's do this one. Also a Colorado. This is alien drone at the potato harvest and other strangeness in Colorado. This is, of course, from our friend Judy Misseline.
Okay, tell me that alien drone is just a new strain of weed.
I can make that.
Very much might be.
I can make that a thing. I have these powers.
Hell yeah.
I'm the proprietor of the UFO Watchtower in Hooper, Colorado.
Whoa.
Which is located in Colorado's San Luis Valley.
I know her. I know her well.
Yes. In 2008, there were an abundance of daytime sightings all over the valley. People were reporting them from everywhere. Now UFO sightings happen all the time around here. The strange thing about these sightings is that the UFOs were all silver balls, which I have not heard. I had a fellow drop by the UFO Watchtower who was employed by the Los Alamos National Lab in New Mexico. That seems important.
Fuck yeah.
He too had seen the silver balls, so asked his supervisor about them. The supervisor told him that they were drones just checking us out.
Weird.
What a crazy thing to just throw off there.
Yeah.
Don't worry about them. They're just checking us out.
Yeah, they're just definitely aliens.
Who's them? Who's there?
Pointing up. Them.
The one I got to see was when I was working the potato harvest in late September. We were sitting in the back of the truck having lunch when I saw a commercial jet flying from east to west. A silver ball appeared behind the jet and was bouncing up and down on the jet stream like it was playing at an amusement park. I yelled at the guys, "Do you see that? Do you see that?"
Wild.
Believable.
Hell, yeah, right. Hell, they couldn't see the plane, let alone the silver ball.
Typical.
And then they
blind motherfuckers.
And then they had the utter gall to tell me I was crazy and seeing things.
Okay, we're out here. We're out here looking for UFOs, guys. But I'm the asshole.
Well, this is at the potato harvest.
Yeah, this was a harvest of potatoes.
What do you do at the potato harvest? I'm looking for UFOs.
Oh, should I not be harvesting these potatoes? Am I doing it wrong?
No, you're doing fine.
The following year, on August 28th, 2009, my partner Stan and I made a trip to Denver from the San Luis Valley to see my dad and my stepmother, Verna. Mm-hmm. Stan doesn't like to drive with lots of traffic, so he is always insisting on leaving between 4 and 4:30 a.m.
Good move, Stan.
We were traveling north on Highway 17, so they're not even... I feel like... Do you take Highway 17 to the San Luis Valley?
No, because I'm not a weirdo who lives in the San Luis Valley. No offense, Judy.
Traveling north on Highway 17, we're about F Road when I saw something about 1,000 feet in the air crossing in front of us. I pointed it out to Stan, but he seemed oblivious to the idea that something abnormal was going on.
Stan! Wake up!
Right?
See the truth in front of you, Stan.
See the truth. Witness me.
And he didn't say a word or pay attention to the object. I rolled my window down but heard nothing. It was still pitch black out. The object was dark colored and wasn't moving very fast. What was really strange was that it had green lights and that were circling around it.
Oh.
So it had little drones, maybe?
Little dronesies.
It was traveling from the west to east. I could no longer see the lights once it was about a mile away or so. As always, I tried to rationalize what the object was. Not a helicopter, no noise whatsoever. Definitely not a weather balloon. Too slow for a plane, and again, not loud enough. What type of object would have lights encircling and no noise? A UFO?
Perhaps.
But the Pentagon's recent report said that it was not. All these reports are not alien in nature. Which would suggest there's strange physics happening in our air.
I guess so. I mean,
I'm a believer in the UFO
strange.
Balls.
I mean,
pretty dang strange to make
in the extraterrestrial balls. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, careful. Weather's weird out today. How weird? Small spheres. Little spheres.
It got really phantasmy.
Yeah.
I was reading that report. I was going like, but what about all like the spheres and the blank and the blank and there's so many reports that we're like, this isn't how explain this anomaly then.
Yeah, because some government agent was tasked with finishing a report, and certain things just weren't reliable enough. So they were like, not putting that in the report. Not that. None of this is going in the report.
Coward.
Yeah.
Would you care about your career?
Pussy. Really calling people pussies today.
Yeah, we'll stop.
Stop.
Judy goes on to talk about cow mutilations. Apparently there have been...
it's because it's our Christmas episode.
Exactly.
Wait, the cow mutilations or the pussy thing?
Yeah, both.
Both are festive.
It's apparently estimated that some 15,000 cattle mutilitions have been reported since the 1960s near Mount Blanca.
Damn.
But yeah, and also it begins with Snippy. I don't know if you know about Snippy. That was a horse that was killed.
Yes,
that had
Snippy.
Its neck and head were completely ripped from its body.
Yeah,
and there was like almost no blood.
Snippy the horse.
Yeah. She does say, I saw an animal that had been mutilated, and it was bizarre. Not so much the cuts and the injuries, but the behavior of the other cattle. The cow had a calf, but the calf would not go near her, which is highly unusual.
That is weird.
Mammals have a tendency for empathy. You'll see them like just be sad around the dead relative.
One, check this out. This plays into some news we did a couple weeks ago. The other cows made a big circle around the mutilated cow, about 20 of them, and one by one would take a step forward and then jump back, step forward and jump back.
It almost feels like maybe there's some kind of imperceivable radiation coming off of this cow that we can't block.
I mean,
maybe.
There definitely might be. There's certainly radiation being found on abductees. So it makes sense.
I think the work of one Linda Moulton Howell has come back as saying that there is a slight radioactivity, but it's not of like great numbers, I think.
Right, but
it's not the best research. But but Kylie's mom worked with her and said she was a great producer.
Okay.
So, I mean, she seems credible to where like, she's really, I believe the cattle mutilation from her. She might say some crazy stuff, but
I like that she starts all of her books with, listen, this isn't great research, but however,
listen to me.
I got this theory. I just was overcome with a painful urge for banh mi.
Yeah, Linda Moulton Howell will do that.
Well, fucking A, I'm maybe going to have to get a banh mi sandwich.
Yeah, Linda Moulton Howell always puts me in the mood for head cheese.
She does also go on to say that apparently there were black helicopters that she's seen all the time coming down around the UFO watchtower. The entire phenomenon is not scary to me, but interesting. I want to know more and see and meet them.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to meet them?
Well,
I think you have a high chance of being sliced up by them.
Yeah, I feel like they want your endocrines and such.
They want your head and they want your spleen because that's the two parts of a human they don't have for their collection.
It's the tastiest damn bits. Everybody knows that.
It is.
Yeah. That's the two parts they don't have for the person they're building.
I feel that if they were the monsters as they're portrayed in the movies, then why haven't they done away with us humans? And why haven't they taken over our planet since their technology is so much greater than ours?
They need our spleens.
I'm going to throw this out there. Number one, they need our spleens. Number two, we are the victim of this indifference. So we think they're monstrous. But they're just all like, we need spleens, and this is the only way to farm them.
Yeah, I mean, think of how cows probably talk about us, you know? I think they take us away and turn us into meat. That's insane. Be quiet, Bessie. That's not what happens.
No, cows don't think about us at all.
If they did, there would be a revolution.
Yeah, they think about us, but they think of us as friends until we betray them.
Why, Johnny? I loved you. Moo.
It's the cow bought a robot.
Moo.
We have to stop putting vocal cords inside of cows.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what Judy Messeline has to say.
Okay.
You can visit the UFO Watchtower if you happen to be in Colorado, specifically in the San Luis Valley.
It's worth it. I tell you, it's worth it.
Jordan goes more than he's gone to Disney World. Loves
That is true. It's a great time. Whenever I'm driving past there, I'm like, we are going 45 minutes out of the way to the Watchtower. It looks great on the gram. I'm telling you that much. They got a lot of aliens you can take pictures with, a lot of T-shirts. I have an Alien Watchtower T-shirt. It rules.
And Judy just bought Snippy.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. So, yes, you can go see the very first UFO mutilation at the UFO Watchtower.
God damn, what an investment.
Truly. We should have bought it. I told you. We could be eating that horse right now.
Damn it.
Well, the rest of it.
It would have made a good Christmas, I tell you that much.
Hell yeah. So Christmassy. All right, Nate, do you have any more trucker tales from the trucks for us?
I definitely can. Are we close?
Do one more. Wrap it up with one more.
All right.
I'm feeling one mo again.
It's Christmas, Nate.
Dig down. I want you to dig down between the seats.
Look for a goddamn Christmas one.
And then we're gonna do a patron howl out, and then we're good.
Down where the corn nuts and the coins are.
We have so many patrons now.
Hell yeah. We love
Thank you all. We're growing in strength. Should we become an army, actually do this assault against Universe A?
We have to find the portal to Universe A.
I shit you not, we have a large squadron of Dark Council members. we could honestly do some assault against Universe A.
I mean, there is still a chance
Take the beach.
There is still a chance that they return Universe A to us peacefully. But if they don't, then it's fucking on.
Janet says we're big enough to classify as a religion.
Yes, exactly.
Fuck. Are we?
Let's go nonprofit, baby. The Church of the Rising Moon.
Ooh.
Yeah, Lycanthrope Church.
Yeah, the Lycanthrope Church. Drink this. It's blood of Christ?
It might be.
Maybe. You taste it. You tell me. Does it taste like Christ to you?
All right. Here's another short one from the Trucker Ghost Stories. This is the 13 Trees at Louisville's Hot Rod Haven. Okay. This is where they had that Trump rally, right? The 13 Trees at Louisville? Yeah, he was 12 of the 13.
Yeah.
Born and bred in Louisville, Kentucky, I have heard several tales from haunted train trestles to supernatural dogs chasing cars on the road to an old TB hospital.
Hey, don't touch that trestle.
Yeah. Also, none of those are going to come up.
Okay.
No, that's just normal shit. That's just shit that you grow up hearing. That's not unusual. What's ahead is unusual.
But I think the one that stands out the most is Hot Rod Haven.
Oh,
a curvy stretch of wooded road that passes by a cemetery and ends with a large curve to a major drop-off. The cemetery itself is a legend all its own, with stories galore. From a statue of the I don't know what this cemetery is, but I'm definitely going to look it up. From a statue of the Virgin Mary crying to broken headless statues being seen with their heads to people being tossed across the property. I don't know if you've been to a cemetery lately, but across the property seems like an acreage.
That's an acreage, yeah.
And also not something that generally happens there.
And a ghost statue?
Yeah, what?
Like the ghost of the statue once complete? Like if the Venus de Milo had arms one night?
Oh, God.
But I think it is. I believe that what they're trying to say is that a statue of the Virgin Mary is crying while holding a ripped off statue head.
Oh, weird.
Oh, that's even
way
more
more
horrific.
terrifying.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. Kind of cool.
At one time, it's been a while since I went on the road, there were 13 trees that were marked with red paint. The 13th tree resembled Satan's face, within the nature of the bark.
Of course.
Whoa.
The legend was if you did not count all 13 trees, at the end of the road where it curved with a drop-off, you'd crash. Also, it was said that on Halloween at a specific time, I don't recall hearing the time, you could drive down the road and see a group of people, those who died in the wrecks, walking on the road. As they approach the 13th tree, they disappear.
Wow. Okay.
And that story's from Sherry McPeak.
Sherry. Pretty spooky, Sherry. Thanks for sharing. Sorry.
Solid.
Folks, that's been it for Werewolf Radar. Maybe forever. We don't know. But before we sign off tonight, we would like to do a little Werewolf Radar patron howl out.
Yeah. If you want to get your name shouted out, check us out at patreon.com/werewolf radar. This is one of the awesome paranormal rewards. Nick Bailey, Michael King, Jason Wardell, Phil Corridor, Joseph Steary, Janet Bravo, Dylan Gutierrez, Bob Ryan, AWOL51, Amanda, Tobias Livingston, the most well-prepared dead guy, Marcelo Durand, Lee Southwell, Jason Sweet, Elliot Broder, Alicia Coy, Cheesebot, O'Doom, Abby Claboo, Ryan Flint, Liam Dull, Jessica, Jake Specht, Akarian Soldier, Dean Malik, Dakota Vincent, Brian Ely, Adric Hinkle, and our Chancellor of Madness, Michael Przak. So when we become a religion, obviously,
Next week,
Michael, you're a bishop. Adric, all the ambassadors, you guys are going to be altar boys.
You guys will be blood collectors.
Yeah, there we go. Blood collectors. Michael, you're Chancellor of Madness. That's a great name for a religion.
We don't care where you get it. We don't want to know. Just get us the blood and pour it into the blood bucket.
And just know we're not going for your wives. We want your haunted toys. We're one of those cults.
We want you to sign over all of your haunted toys to us. Control of your haunted toys.
With the Werewolf Radar religion, you get to keep your wife, but lose your haunted toy.
If you have any artifacts, they belong to us.
This sounds like we're incels.
Yeah, well.
It is what it is, Nate.
All right, fair enough.
It sounds that way a lot online, too. Folks, thank you so much for your continued support of Werewolf Radar. Without you, the radar would cease to operate, and we'd all be at the mercy of, the forces that we are ever so slowly battering back into the darkness. We keep the radar operating. We keep the Werewolf Radar fortune growing. We keep our army of are we the army of darkness or the army of the light?
It depends on the writer.
I think when we descend upon Universe A, we will be the army of darkness, but then they'll see.
I imagine we're going to have to assume whatever name they give to us.
Yeah, for sure. Please tell your friends about the podcast. If you still want to help us, but you don't necessarily have the money to become a Patreon member, just go give us 5 stars and a little review on iTunes, Spotify, any of that shit. Sorry. Any of that shit. It helps more than you possibly know. It helps our podcast find new audience members, which in turn brings us new stories, which in turn makes for a better podcast. So thank you so much for giving us a little review out there.
Subscribe to our YouTube.
You subscribe to YouTube, you go to werewolfradar.com, you go to Twitter. We're on Twitch every Monday playing D&D. It fucking rules, about 4 o'clock Mountain Time. Get over to twitch.tv/werewolf_radar if you want to see us play some dice games and sometimes games of the video variety. shout out to Chuck from Snappy Little Numbers for our intro and outro song. And shout out to you, the creatures of the night, the denizens of the shadow realm,
in fact.
the bingos, the truthstronauts, whatever else you might be called in the other countries. Who knows? Until next time, that does it for this episode of Werewolf Radar. On the count of 3, our sign-off line. 1, 2, 3. Punch
the sky, Spaceman Joe.
Sky.
Nice. Killer. Merry holidays.
Yes, Mary Holland. We all love her.